Hi, it's Chelsea again. Thank you so much for tuning in to my channel and my video. I think it's going to be extremely helpful for you. Today I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to create a successful dentist visit for your special needs child. Now, if you know anything about going to the dentist with children, generally it's a little bit difficult, but especially with special needs child. I think it's because of, a lot of the oral sensitivities that they have, a new situation, just a lot of things, a lot of reasons that make it particularly challenging for them and their caregivers, their family members. So today, I hope my tips are helpful. Also, please be on the lookout for a video I'm going to be making very soon about oral hygiene, how to get your special needs child to engage in proper oral hygiene every single day. So, thing number 1 is that you want to expose your child to the dentist situation. Ideally, you want to be able to take your child to the dentist and say, hey, this is the dentist, this is the waiting room, this is the chair you're going to have to lay in. This is what the light looks like. These are the tools. Now, if you live close enough to your dentist, you can just, call them, say, hey, I'm just going to bring my kid. We don't have an appointment. I just want them to see the office. Most dentist offices are going to be, they'll be pretty cool with that. If that's not able to happen, then, maybe you can go by and just take pictures of the actual office. If that can't happen, you can always Google dentist, offices, dentists, dentist chairs, and just show your child those different pictures, talk to them about it, tell them what they're going to, be used for and that sort of thing. Also, there's a lot of videos out there for kids, cartoons and whatnot that talk about going to the dentist and that sort of thing. So first, you want to prime your child and get them exposed to that dentist situation. Also, if you can take your kid along with another sibling or friend, family member or something and let them see another person going to the dentist, that is also going to be very helpful. Thing number 2, you want to identify your particular child's area of need. So I don't know if you saw my other video or not with little Susie, but that was a little girl that I went with her and took her to the dentist. First time was not successful. First time the dentist stopped and said, hey, I'm not going to be able to finish this. She's moving too much. I don't want to hurt her. We got 2 options. We can, put her under anesthetics and she'll be asleep, or we can put her in a papoose. Mom was like, no. And so I said, hey, let's make a plan about it. So what I did at that point is I talked to the dentist. I said, hey, this is what I saw. I saw she needed to bite down on this thing. She wasn't able to. I saw she needed to sit still or lay still and not move around. She wasn't able to. How long? How long does she need to keep her mouth open? How long does she need to bite down on that piece? How long is the procedure? So, how long do we need to make her stay still? The doctor, the dentist told me, and this is what we did at home. We started working on it. So thing number 3 is create a plan. So, with thing number 2, identify the areas of need for your particular child. Thing number 3 is going to be creating a plan. So for little Susie, what we did is, we went to the store right away. We bought some dental tools. We bought a little bite down thing. We got a timer. And when we went home, we started working on the things, her areas of need. Now, some kids' areas of need might be that they need to tolerate the light in her face. And if you saw the picture of little Susie, she had on sunglasses, so that wasn't an issue. They might need to tolerate being reclined. Whatever your child's area of need is, identify that and then know where they need to get to, So I talked to the dentist. I knew she needed to get to 2 minutes with the bite down thing. I knew she needed to get to 7 minutes completely laying down still, hands down. So we started with the timer, 15 seconds. Set the timer 15 seconds. Okay, little Susie, bite down on this. 15 seconds over, she gets a reinforcer. Okay, little Susie, keep your hands down. 15 seconds over, she got a reinforcer. Slowly but surely, we increased the time until we got, as far as we could get. Create a plan. Now, based on when your child needs to go to the dentist, your plan is going to try to move faster, or you might be able to move at a more leisurely pace. For little Susie, we had a 2-week window. So her next appointment was in 2 weeks that we were supposed to go back. So, as soon as she did 15 seconds, maybe 2 or 3 times, then we moved it up to 20 or 25. So we were trying to move it a little bit fast because we didn't have a lot of time. If you have a child that you're like, hey, they usually have issues with dentists, but we just went, last month, I would suggest that you start working on it now, because they're going to need to go again, right? And it's better for you to start working on it and it to become part of their normal and part of, what they know they're expected to do sooner than later. So after you start your plan, Now, some kids, you're going to have to actually work on a dental aversion because they may have already had very negative experiences with dentists, and now you say the word dentist or you go in the office and they're already having behaviors. So with this child, part of their plan is going to include you recreating a positive situation around the dentist. So that might mean you show them pictures of the dentist and they get tensed up or don't want to look at it or want to run away, but then you start doing coping with them and you get them to count 9 to 9, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or whatever coping, as they're viewing that, or if you can actually get them to go to the dentist's office and make sure that they're doing the coping, so that you overcome that aversion and actually start to create a neutral or positive situation in their mind about the dentist. Number 4 is going mental preparation. So that means that you and your child, you're going to, first off, you're going to create, you're going to make the appointment at a time that is best for the child. So if you know your kid is best and has least behaviors in the morning, then try to get a morning appointment. If you know that they actually need to eat something first and then watch their favorite show and then they'll be better to go, then, create your appointment time appropriately. Also, mental preparation is for you. So if you need to do deep breathing, if you need to get up an extra hour early, if you need to, start praying or something like that. For little Susie, I actually did. After the first doctor's visit, every day I would pray, Lord, give us wisdom to know what to do to help her to be more successful next time. Whatever you need to do to mentally prepare for it. And that also includes making sure that you're having a positive energy about it. So sometimes you might have to stop and as a parent say, hey, wait a minute, I'm very stressed out about this, but what's the worst that could happen? What is the worst that can happen? If they're not successful, we'll just have to leave without the work being done. We'll just have to come again. We'll just have to, go this route or that, So know your options. That might help you to kind of decrease in your anxiety. Make sure that you've eaten. Make sure that you had a good night's sleep. Prepare the night before. Make sure that the visit is going to be at an appropriate time, most successful time. And make sure you get there a little bit early because even just rushing to get there, you might have other kids you need to pack up or get them ready or whatever. Try to make sure, you get there 10, 15 minutes ahead so that you have time to kind of relax a little bit and, get ready for what you're going to need to do. Thing number 5. So thing number 5 is, usually on the day, what you're going to do. You're going to be the coach for the child. So just like, coach, they coach through, they do their practicing, and then the big game, they're ready, and you're just ready to prove what you've already been practicing. So you're going to be your child's coach. It's a good idea to actually take some transitional tools. So like if you were using a timer at home, so like with little Susie, I took the timer to the the dentist's office, and there were a couple of times where she was a little bit antsy and it was starting to go the other way, and I was like, hey Susie, remember, I'm going to set the timer, remember, because that reminded her, oh yeah, I'm able to be calm and still. I did it at home, there's that same timer, and even using that verbiage like we did at home, that helps to transition the practice from home to this real life situation. Sometimes you might actually need breaks. So if you need to ask the dentist, oh, you know what? Hey, little Johnny or, Susie, we're going to have a break. I just need you to, 30 more seconds. And then the doctor is going to take a break and let the doctor just back up and set a little break for 30 seconds. I would advise to stay in the chair, but they might just need that little bit of a breather. Very important thing is that you're going to want to bring some distractors, because even if they're on their best behavior and they're doing really well, it is a very uncomfortable thing, and while they're feeling uncomfortable, so like with little Susie, I actually brought some little books, and as she had that needle, the doctor had to sit the needle in there and let it go for a certain amount of time. I actually had the books and I was, pulling it out and reading it to her as she's laying back. I'm like, reading it to her. And so that was very helpful. I had Orbeez also, just little fidgety toys that, she could have in her hands and kind of hold them, or anything to kind of distract from what was going on. So those are 5 things. I'll go back through them. Priming your child and exposing them to what the dentist is like, finding their areas of need, creating a plan, mentally preparing, and then being the coach through that situation. Now, all of these things, regardless of how your child does, even if you have to, as we did with little Susie, you know, you have to schedule and come back another day, you know, in the situation on a positive note. So end by saying, hey, you know what, you really tried. I'm so proud of you for really trying. High five. Look, I brought you a treat anyways, you know, and even if they're successful, do remember to give them the treat, because we don't want their last memory of the dentist to be painful. So, because they are going to have to come again, right? So just, you know, give them their treat, give them something, probably not an edible since it's the dentist, but, you know, give them the stickers or whatever you brought in your goodie bag so that they can remember, you know, their last time at the dentist was positive. I hope this has been helpful. Please leave me comments. Let me know if this has been helpful. And like I said, look out for my next video, which is going to talk about daily